When Nintendo launched Amiibo in 2014, it wasn't just releasing another gaming accessory, it was reconnecting with its roots as a toy maker, reinforcing the emotional power of its characters and creating one of the most successful examples of physical-digital branding in modern entertainment. Amiibo became more than plastic figurines. With NFC chips inside them, they became symbols of nostalgia, collectability, and loyalty to the Nintendo brand. To understand why Amiibo matters so much to Nintendo, you first need to understand Nintendo itself. Nintendo is often thought of purely as a video game company, but its origins lie firmly in toys and play. Founded in Kyoto in 1889, Nintendo originally produced handcrafted Hanafuda playing cards. For decades, the company experimented with all kinds of toys and entertainment products, from board games to mechanical toys and novelty gadgets. In the 60s and 70s, Nintendo produced physical toys that relied on clever engineering rather than cutting-edge technology. Products like the Ultra Hand and Ultra Machine grew popular in Japan because they were fun, tactile and accessible. These early successes shaped Nintendo's philosophy. Toys should spark imagination, not intimidate. Even after Nintendo entered the video game market in the late 70s and 80s, that toy maker mindset never disappeared. Consoles like the NES, the Wii and the Switch were designed as playful objects, not just sterile pieces of technology. Amiibo are a direct extension of this philosophy, traditional toys enhanced by modern electronics. Amiibo were introduced in November 2014 alongside Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. They were Nintendo's answer to the growing toys-to-life trend, popularized by brands like Skylanders and Disney Infinity. Unlike many competitors, Nintendo leaned heavily on its iconic characters rather than building a new universe from scratch. Each Amiibo figure contained an NFC near-field communication chip, allowing it to interact with compatible games. Functionality varied. Some unlocked costumes or bonus items, others could store data and evolve over time, and many simply offered cosmetic or playful rewards. Crucially, Amiibo were optional. They enhanced games without splitting the player base. What really set Amiibo apart, however, was their quality and design. Nintendo treated them as proper collectibles rather than cheap peripherals. Figures were carefully sculpted, well painted and sturdy enough to sit proudly on a shelf. Even people who never scanned an Amiibo into a game still bought them as display piece. Amiibo strengthened Nintendo's brand in several key ways. First, they extend Nintendo's characters into the physical world. Characters like Mario, Link, Kirby no longer live only on screens. They sit on desks, bookshelves and display cabinets. This constant physical presence deepens emotional attachment. Second, Amiibo reward engagement across multiple games. A single figure might work in several titles over many years, encouraging long-term loyalty rather than one-off purchases. This reinforces Nintendo's ecosystem approach, where characters and franchises persist across generations of hardware. Third, Amiibo appeal to multiple audiences simultaneously. Children enjoy them as toys, casual players use them for small in-game bonuses, and collectors chase rare releases. Few products manage to bridge these groups without alienating one of them. Finally, Amiibo reinforce Nintendo's family-friendly identity. They feel safe, charming and playful, qualities that align perfectly with Nintendo's brand values. Shortly after launch, Amiibo exploded in popularity. Shops across North America, Europe and Asia sold out of popular characters almost instantly. Social media filled with photos of collectors queuing outside stores, sharing haul pictures and tracking rumours of restocks. Certain characters became notorious for their scarcity. Figures from the early Super Smash Bros. Waves, particularly less mainstream characters, were extremely difficult to find. Retailer exclusives added to the chaos, as some Amiibo were available only through specific shops or regions. The craze wasn't just about gameplay bonuses, it became about the hunt. Collecting Amiibo turned into a hobby of its own, complete with spreadsheets, wish lists and community forums. For a period, Amiibo were one of the most talked about collectibles in gaming. A major factor in Amiibo's cultural impact was how hard some figures were to find. Nintendo produced many Amiibo in limited quantities, sometimes underestimating demand. While this caused frustration, it also created a sense of exclusivity. Over time, certain Amiibo gained reputations as being genuinely rare. Japan exclusive releases, bundle-only figures and characters from niche franchises became especially prized. Secondary markets prices climbed refined and Amiibo were treated less like toys and more like investment pieces. Importantly, rarity was not always intentional. Nintendo's cautious manufacturing strategy combined with unpredictable fan favorites meant scarcity often emerged organically. This unpredictability fueled both excitement and debate within the fan community. Although the initial frenzy has cooled, collector interest remains strong. Some Amiibo have been reprinted, others have not, and new releases still generate attention, especially when tied to major game launches. More than a decade after their introduction, Amiibo remain one of the Nintendo's smartest brand extensions. They successfully blend nostalgia, modern technology, and physical play in a way few companies can replicate. Amiibo remind the world that Nintendo is not just a games company, it is at heart a toy maker that understands the emotional power of play. By turning beloved digital characters into tangible objects, Nintendo created a product line that strengthens its brand, deepens fan loyalty, and proves that in an increasingly digital world, physical toys still matter. If you like what you see, think about liking, subscribing, and following. And remember to game anywhere and everywhere.